right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, just as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash, which is the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the holy tongue for the one true name of the Most High, being Yahweh, and that of the Messiah, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, being Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors unto the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and sincere peace, love, blessing, salutations unto all of those of you who have been called, who are doing the best to make the calling of your election sure. Lord willing, you endure, man. And Lord willing, this be edifying. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it, man. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 20. And it reads, "For there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not." So don't be deceived, man. At the end of the day, man, hey, what did the scripture say? Pride goeth before destruction, man. Nobody is perfect on this side, and don't build your chest up as though you are. You see, looking down upon other brothers who are around you, looking down upon the peons of the earth, man. You see, the scriptures, in fact, they tell us this. Let me go ahead and see if I can find this precept real quick. This is, let's see, this is, here it is, man. It's Ephesians chapter 2, and I'll just start at verse 1. It says, "And you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein times past ye walked according to the course of this world." Right? In times past, we were just like these people out here, man. You see? Hey, look up the scripture where the lawyer tells Yahweh Shai, "Who is my neighbor, man?" And read the parable that Yahweh Shai answers him. You see, we don't know who's the elect out here, man. You see, and just as our righteousness are as filthy rags, that gives you no room to boast, man. No room to glory. You see, the glory will come when Yahweh Shai delivers the elect and puts crowns upon their head, man. That's the glory. That's the glorious act that we're seeking. You see? Going on, it says, and that too, man. What did it say? You were dead in your sins, man. So, hey, like the scriptures say, he that wandereth out of the way of the understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, man. You see, these people in this world are the walking dead. It's like the zombies of the living dead out here, man. And so it's easy to get into that mindset of, you know, looking down upon the peon, man. You know, but again, keep it humble, man. Realize that we were once just as these people are, man. And even though we've repented, we've made this change, we are not the elect yet, man. You see, we have not been physically delivered. We're waiting upon that, and until that comes, you must keep your head down, man. Your head and your toes down, and stand firm. Going on, it says, "According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience." So the same spirit worked in us at a point, man. "But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai," well, as we read on verse 3, "among whom also we had our conversation in times past." You see, we're right in league with these people, man. It says, it's a lot going on. This song was a little too rowdy. It says, "fulfilling the desires of the flesh," right? Because that's what Esau has taught us, man, to fill our bellies, right? And we were running right along with it. It says, "of the mind, and whereby nature the children of wrath, even as others." So we were just like these other people, man, by nature. And why does it say nature? Because naturally we were built this way, man. Naturally we have this flesh upon us, and that's why this walk is so tough coming out of this world, man. That's why this walk is so heavy coming out of it, right? Because we're coming from a place that we're totally destroyed, man. We're coming out of a place that we have been broken down completely, man. Completely buck broken. And now we're trying to return, and really this would be impossible if it wasn't for heavenly power, man. We are living proof that Yahweh Shai is a Mashiach. If it wasn't the case, we'd be out there in the world still teaching some bullshit, man. Still probably dead on some drug overdose or some stupid emotional actions that took place that got your ass killed, man. You see, hey, the ways of this world is death, and we've been delivered from that, man. And now we gotta just walk this tight cord to get there, man. So let me go ahead and grab another precept, man. This is the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 37, and verse 14. It says, "For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen." You see that, man? A man's mind is sometimes more to tell him than 7, and 7 is the number of completion, and a watchman is what? A prophet. So your mind, right, being in this truth, is going to put you in a place where you are judging yourself harder than a complete number of brothers, man. This is why the scriptures tell you to confess your faults before one another, man, so these brothers can pray for you. Because they ain't going to be judging you as heavy as you judging yourself, man. And you brothers know what I'm talking about, man. That's the spirit you should be in, right? When you happen to go off, right? When you happen to slip up in whatever way, case or form that may be, no matter how minute, right, brothers? Hey, you feel some type of way about it, man. You feel some type of way. You mess up and realize it's the Sabbath. You know, you do something, realize, you know, hey, you know, you truly terrify yourself, man, and sometimes to a point where it's self-destructive, man. And that's why it's a balance out here, right? It's a balance, knowing and understanding who you are, man, knowing and understanding this flesh that's upon us. You see? Because you try to be overly righteous, man, that could be you destroying yourself. Again, you have to remind yourself we're in Babylon, man. It's okay to enjoy a video game every now and then. It's okay to you know, enjoy a little bit of some family time, man. But the scriptures tell us what? Wisdom cometh by the opportunity of leisure. So the Most High comes first, man. In fact, let me go ahead and grab this precept real quick. This is the book of Luke, chapter what chapter? Chapter 15. It's lucky. I believe it's chapter 14. Yeah, chapter 14, and I'll just get straight to the point, man. Verse 26, "If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yet in his own life also he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." So what's this meaning, man? You have to actually hate these people. You come into the truth, so you got to go tell your son that you hate him. Your wife, your mother? No, man. In fact, the scriptures say to honor your mother and your father, man. In fact, the scriptures also say this. So going back to the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, chapter 5, and verse 25. "Husbands, love your wives." Wait a minute. Husbands, love your wives. I thought it just said if you serve me, you must hate your wife. Hey, that's because that's showing you the balance, man. You see, the Most High comes first. The creator of all energy comes first, man. Right? And then the rest of the things will fill in. We're not serving we're not serving Esau, man. Where Esau just gives you your weekly payment, and then beyond that, whatever. No, we're serving the creator of all energy, man. The power that both kills and makes alive, man. The power that setteth up and taketh down. So, hey, all we got to do is serve him and things are going to line up, man. But you be rebellious unto him, and you see what brought us into this condition in the first place, man. Which we're trying to now get out of. You see? So again, bro, man, husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. Right? So again, man, you know, if you want to enjoy your, some little at home, you want to take your woman out on a date, man, go out on a date. You see? But again, put Yahweh Shem Yahushai first, man. You see, it's a tight walk that we have to walk. And when you go off, man, again, you judge yourself harder than 7 watchmen, which sometimes can destroy yourself, man. And I've seen it. I've seen this happen to brothers, man. They happen to slip up, and the next thing you know, they don't believe they're worthy to go to camp, man. If they weren't worthy to go to camp, there would be nobody at camp, man. Because none of us are worthy to go to camp. None of us have been perfect. If that, again, there would be no need for Yahweh Shai, man, if Israel was already in perfection. In fact, let me go ahead and grab this to say what I just said better, man. We like to say the scriptures do the talking. So we like to let the scriptures do the talking. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, and verse 7. It says, "For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second." Hey, so if that first covenant, if we could have been perfect in it, there would have been no need for a second. But that first covenant had a fault, and that fault was what? That naturally, we are natural. We got this flesh upon us, man. We naturally got these carnalities in us, man. Naturally, this flesh wants to eat. You see, but you got to teach that flesh to not eat particular things, man. And when I say eat, I'm not talking about physically consuming food, which it could come in that form, right? Of eating a crustacean or pork or whatever the case is. But, right, I'm speaking about feeding the flesh sin, man. Feeding the belly, right? Which reminds me of another precept, man. Let's go ahead and grab 1 Corinthians. Yeah, sometimes, man, again, being in this balance and knowing who you are, you got to be honest with yourself, man. Look in the mirror, address your demons, realize where your weak points are, right? And then use that for your benefit, man. Right? If we know we're in this flesh that naturally wants to eat, that naturally wants to take in the world, if you will, and the world promotes everything this flesh wants. They've given us black culture, they've given us brown culture, they've given us right? They parade these women out around us and try to make it seem like you're a demon for looking at them and being excited some type of way. You're supposed to just mind your own damn business, man. Hey, again, man, hey, this world pushes to feed the flesh around you. And that's why this world is so dangerous, man. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, "All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient." Right? What does he mean by all things are lawful? So you can go ahead and go eat some swine when the scriptures clearly say not to do that according to the law, right? So that means it's not lawful to do that. Well, because he's talking about what? Through grace, through Yahweh Shai, there was a sacrifice made. So really, the elect are untouchable, man. They are the true untouchables if you really think about it, man. But we don't know who the elect are is the thing. And if we did, if you really thought you were perfect, then again, pride goeth before destruction, man. You're gonna end up being destroyed in your pride, with your ego, right? So all things are made lawful through that sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, but that doesn't make it okay to take part in these things, man. If the elect, whoever they may be, and who we possibly may be, Lord willing, we endure, but not if we're in the spirit of what? Running around and filling ourselves with the world at every corner. You see, in fact, the book of Galatians says if we build back the things that we destroyed, then we've made ourselves sinners, man. Hypocrites. We've destroyed that old man. And now we fight day and night to grow to the point of immortality, man. And that old man's going to come back and poke at you here and there. And that's the point I'm getting at, man. Don't let yourself condemn yourself because of this. Know that we have this flesh upon us, and therefore it is needful for you to feed the flesh in particular ways. And I'm not saying in ways that, you're going to go do wild, crazy stuff, man. But hey, man, if a brother, if you enjoy, you know, like I said, if you enjoy some video games, if you want to, you know, you want to take your woman out on a date, hey, just do particular things to fill the flesh, things that are not gonna destroy you, man. Right? So just because the elect, right, have been chosen from the foundation of the earth, this does not mean the elect is gonna go out there in the world parading in sin, man, filling their flesh at every chance they get. Again, what kind of spirit is the elect going to be in? Judging himself like more than 7 watchmen, man. Which again could be destructive. So it's a tight rope that you must walk, man. A tight walk. Like the Apocrypha tells us, right? So if a man lean one way or that or the other way, he's going to fall into some fire or water, man. It's a straight walk, a straight and narrow walk that we must take, man. And we've always got to watch ourselves and weigh ourselves on the balance. Going on finishing on verse 12. It says, all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Hey, so again, man, you won't be brought under the power of any. And this is meaning what? That balance went off skew, and you became overpowered by whatever it is that you allowed to take over your walk, man. All right. Going on, it says, verse 13, meats for the belly, and belly for the meats, but God shall destroy both it and them. Hey, right, man. And the Most High is coming to destroy. So whatever it is you're partaking in, man, take heed. It says, now the body is not for fornication, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. Right, so now he's comparing it to what, man? Fornication. Fornication is what? Fornication is a transgression involving a sexual act. There's adultery and there's fornication, man. Adultery is what? Where a betrothed woman, a married woman, gets with a man who is not her husband, or a man gets with a woman who is married, who is not his woman, right? So now fornication, right, is comparing it to basically you using your body for, you know, all kind of different crazy acts, man. All kind of different crazy sexual acts. But if our body has been made one with the Lord, right, then that means we're not, you know, we're not able to run out there. And again, this is an analogy, right? It's not saying that you can't be with a woman. Again, if you want to be with a woman, man. You see, just be cautious out here in this world. Just be cautious out here, man. Because Satan is lurking, man. As the scriptures say, what? As a devouring lion. You see, but let me go ahead and continue. It says, I'll jump down to verse 15. It says, know ye not that your bodies are the members of a Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of a Mashiach and make them a members of a harlot? Which a harlot is what? A whore, man. A prostitute. So he's saying, should we take the members of the Lord, right? Which we're the members of the Lord, and basically cause us to become prostitutes using our bodies for whoever comes our way, man. For anybody under the sun. And that's what you're likened unto when you're what? When you're just walking on in this world with no regard, man. Taking part in whatever act that you see around you, man. One of the brothers at camp made a beautiful point, man. He's like, it's like we got a metal detector around us, man. And you come too close to something, it starts beeping louder. You got to listen to that metal detector, man. Always ask yourself if this is beneficial for your walk. You see, but let me go ahead and I wanted to grab this real quick back in the book of Sirach. This is Sirach 14 and 2. It says, blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned himself. Right? Again, man, hey, you can lead yourself to what? Self-destruction, man. Condemning yourself. Which condemn means to means to destroy. Means damn, basically, man. Going on, it says, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. Hey, so blessed is the man who hasn't condemned himself and who hasn't fallen from the hope of the Lord, man. Because again, we have this flesh upon us, and it's very easy for us to fall from the hope of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai with this flesh that's upon us, man. Thinking upon our old man, thinking upon the ways we were in the world, right? You happen to slip up, you happen to have an impure thought. In fact, the book of Proverbs tells us that what? Even an impure thought is a sin, man. But there was only one man to walk in this flesh sinless, man. And that was Yahweh Shai Mashiach, making him the perfect sacrifice to atone for the sins of the elect, man. Which is why, as we read earlier, what? All things have been made lawful, because that blood has already been spilt. But again, there's a tight rope to walk, man. Just because that blood has been spilled doesn't mean you could jump back into the world, man. In fact, the scriptures tell us that. Let's grab that real quick. This is the book of Hebrews. I believe it's chapter 10, if I'm not mistaken, man. Just bear with me for a second while I grab it. I don't think it is Hebrews 10. Oh yeah, it is Hebrews 10. This is Hebrews 10 and verse 29. It says, of how much sorer punishment suppose ye shall he be thought worthy who have trodden under foot the Son of God? Right. So how much of a worse punishment do you think somebody would get who have trodden underfoot the Messiah, man? Yahweh Shai, and what? His sacrifice that he's made. And how much more sore punishment than what? What is it comparing it to? Verse 28, I didn't read it. It says, he that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Right, and that was a pretty cold judgment, man. But this person's going to get a worse judgment who's trodden underfoot Yahweh Shai, man. It says, and hath counted the blood of his covenant, right? The blood that he spilt, wherewith he was sanctified, wherewith you were cleansed. You took part of this blood. You took part in the right, drinking the wine at the Passover, right? Meaning what? That hey, this blood was for me, man. And then you went back into the world and you a whole nigga again, man. What did it say? It says, hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace. Right? You've despised this grace period, man. Why? By the act of taking this sacrifice as a light thing, man. Taking it, coming out of the world and going right back in the world. Leaving you in a worse place than before you came in. It's nothing to marvel at, man, that Judas Iscariot committed suicide, man. Where are you going to go out there in the world, man? Where are you going to go out there in the world without this truth? Especially after being introduced to this truth. Especially after being reborn, right? You're going to have a tough time everywhere you go, man. Let's see. Let me go ahead and jump to the book of Romans, the 8th chapter. This is Romans, the 8th chapter, and this is is Romans 8 and let's see, verse 19. It says, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God." Right, the creature, what, being the creation. Verse 20, it says, "For the creature was made subject to vanity." Look at that, man. The creature, the creation, we have been made what? Subject to vanity, man. Meaning subject to what? To things that don't matter, man. To this world. It says not willingly, right? I sure as hell don't want to be like this, man. That's what the scriptures say, what? The kingdom of heaven is not meat and drink, man, but righteousness. Hey, that's the thing, first and foremost, that we are looking forward to, man. Being made perfect, having these laws written within us, man. Being raised incorruptible, going through the mortality to receive the immortality, man. Receiving that immortality is what we're looking forward to, man. But while you're going through the hardships, while you're going through the mortality, what gets you there is keeping your eyes on the goal, man. Your eyes on the prize. I don't go to, me personally, I'll speak for myself, man. I don't go to work in the morning and think about, right, you know, all what's going, I mean, of course, you know, I think about it, the things that I'm doing to a degree because I got to do it, but my mind is on the end of the day, man. My mind is on, you know, getting in my car and taking myself home or wherever it is that I'm going, you know, after work, man. Nobody's trying to be there and be subject to work and sit there and hey, man, hey, we gotta get through it to get to it, man. And a point I use to make it there, all right, is to keep your eyes on the prize, man. Which is why when you go back to verse 18, what did it say? "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Right? So we might be suffering when we're going through particular things, right? Going through this good fight of faith, right? But the glory is going to come for this, man. Going on, it says, right, verse 20, finishing off where I left off, it says, "But by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope," right? So we have hope, man. We have hope that that we are gonna be delivered from being from the bonds of the flesh, man. From being subject to vanity. In other words, verse 21, it says, "Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption." Hey, we're gonna be delivered from this flesh. In other words, we're gonna be delivered from mortality, man. So the fact that this hasn't happened shows you that we are not, right? This new covenant, we're not in it, man. Right? Yahushua's blood set it up, but it's not been solidified, if you will, clearly, man. As we still have this bondage of corruption, right? It's going on. It says, "Bondage of corruption into glorious liberty of the children of God," man. That's what the new covenant results in, man. Us being made immortal, us being made, like I said, man, going from wormhood to godhood. That's what the Heavenly Father is doing with us, man. We're going through a process of metamorphosis, man, a process of change. Entering in the cocoon as a worm and coming out as a beautiful flying creature, man. You see, and oh boy, are we gonna fly, man. Verse 22, it says, "For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now, and not only they, but ourselves also." Right? So the whole creation, man, even the damn mosquitoes are groaning, right? Waiting for what? The sons of God, the manifestation of the sons of God to come back into power, man, to establish righteousness on this earth, man. Going on, it says, "Even we," or Salakia, Romans 8 and 23, "and not only they, but ourselves, which have the first fruits of the Spirit." Right? Again, we're living testimonies, right, to the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We have the first fruits of the Spirit, meaning what? We've been quickened, man. It says, "Even," In fact, hold that in mind, the first fruits of the Spirit. We'll grab a precept out of this and end it, man. It says, even ourselves, what was on that? Salaki. Khan. Even we ourselves, groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body, right? For our bodies to be redeemed, man. For us to be adopted back in physically, man. We've been spiritually brought back in, right? And we've been made these first fruits. So now we're waiting to be delivered from this corruptible flesh, man. Which is why 1 Corinthians 15 says this. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 22. For in Adam all died. So in a Mashiach all shall be made alive. But every man in his own order, HaMashiach the first fruits, but afterward they that are Mashiachs at his coming. Hold up. The first fruits, man. But every man in his own order, HaMashiach the first fruits, afterward they that are HaMashiachs at his coming. So at his coming, at his coming, that's when we're going to be delivered. That's when we're going to be made immortal. That's when we're going to be fully brought into this new covenant, man. How could the corruptible receive the incorruptible, right? Which is actually, that verse is right down here. This is verse 54, 1 Corinthians 15. It says, so when the corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and the mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying written, death is swallowed up in victory. Right? We're gonna have these laws written within us, man. And what is what is sin? The transgression of the law. And what's the wage of sin? Death. So if we have the laws written within us, that means that we are never gonna sin, man. We are never gonna go off. In fact, we will be perfect, and this is when that glory of perfection will take place, man. Giving us no room to boast, as it is only of the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that hath brought us here, man. So with that being said, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone and Sincere. Peace, love, blessings, salutations unto all of you hopeful and faithful members of the elect out there, man. Lord willing, this edifying unto you. Shalom.